back in 2012 said, come along, we'll build this world ourselves. A ship, a gun, a life to make your own. In this vast, starry space, you won't be alone. But months turn to years, and years turn to cries. They call the next update, look up to the skies. They show us the stars, but they shift in the night. Promises fade, out of mind, out of sight. Those CIG got us waiting still, on dreams and code, on patches and thrill. You say it's coming and pull back again. A quarter a year, when does this road end? We're chasing stars, but just a drifting dialogue, peering into the dark of this eternal backlog. Remember the talk of a grand campaign, Squadron 42 coming soon, all the same. But soon turns to someday, and hype to doubt. Another dream stalls, leaving us without. We've seen plans vanish, seen features fail. Once promised to be ours, now hollow balls. A promise in hand, but they drifted astray. About to the whispers fade by the day. Those CIG got us waiting still, on dreams and code, on patches and thrill. You say it's coming and pull back again. A quarter a year, when does this road end? We're chasing stars, but just a drifting dialogue, peering into the dark of this eternal backlog. But here we stand, with credits in hand, loyal to dreams built on shifting sand. We laugh, we rage, yet still we play, believing perhaps there'll be light one day. So we'll ride on each patch, each quarterly slip, build ships in our heads, make ready for trips. They say next time we'll get there, just hold on tight. But the stars, they seem dimmer with each passing night. Those CIG, you got us waiting still, on dreams and code, on patches and thrill. You say it's coming and pull back again. A quarter a year, when does this road end? We're chasing stars, but just a drifting dialogue, peering into the dark of this eternal backlog. So we linger on, under galaxies wide, bound by a promise for this cosmic ride. Through whispers and hopes, and visions unclear, we'll play on, keep waiting, year after year.
All right, and we're live. Welcome, guys, to another Captain's Log. I'm the captain of this here vessel, Kelbeck, and I've got a larger collection of crew with me today. We have, as usual, Acid. Acid Puff is our, wow, brain fart already. Guys, I haven't even gotten into the stream yet, and I'm already screwing this shit up. Acid, Marine Extraordinaire. Stompy, our fighter, master of the skies. We have a new crew member today, JD6. JD6 is, well, we send him after whatever needs filling. Trauma, welcome back. Trauma is a member of our crew also, member of our fighter and infantry. And we may have some more joining us as the stream goes, so we will keep you posted. Today's topic, we're going to be starting a conversation about Pyro. We just had a 4.0 EPTU. They are in the works of launching later today, I believe, a new build for the 4.0 EPTU. So we're going to kind of just go over what our first experiences were with the EPTU and share our thoughts on that. So welcome, guys. Thank you for being a part of this stream today, of this podcast.
Pleasure to be here.
Hell yeah.
And let's get into it. So
I missed it. It's been too long.
4.0, okay. I believe everyone here played the EPTU. Trauma, I think you had a little bit of trouble getting in, but did you at least get to leave the
I got
station?
in. I got in eventually, and I got to experience Bloom. Um, uh, because I spawned at Obituary, and I was stuck there until I finally got off the station. Uh, Auroras do in fact not work in the EPT. That was confirmed for me. I had to take another ship out a little bit later that night. Um, but I got to touch down on a different planet for the first time in many, many years, so that was pretty cool.
It was a very scattered experience for lots of different people.
But overall, it
Like,
was
there were some
extremely
people who
bad for
just
me.
couldn't get it. Yeah, I was gonna say there's that. There's people who couldn't get in. Then there's like people who got in and were like seemed to have no problem, which
Yeah.
was kind of mind blowing to me that it was that sporadic. You would think
It
it'd be a
was a
little more consistent
positively
across the
negative
board.
experience.
Stompy, what was your experience in the EPTU? Did you get a chance to play much of it?
I don't think he's come back yet. He had walked
Oh,
away.
okay. Crap. Sorry. Stompy has actually left the room. I guess he's on the head. So he'll be back shortly. Got to take every opportunity we have to embarrass him, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So my experience in the EPTU, I gotta say,
Yeah.
was really, really buggy. It was rough. We would get in, we would leave the hab, and we get into the station proper, and then server error or just straight crash to desktop. Then we get back in, do the whole rat race again, get to the terminals, try calling on a ship, crash, right? And just time after time after time. And honestly, in the very beginning, it was really, really rough because there was a whole lot of people just flooding in. And so my experience with it in the beginning was really poor. However, as time went on and the stream coming into the EPTU kind of leveled out and balanced, things got a bit smoother. And if you could get away from any of the starting stations, which was Obituary, Ruin Station, and what was the third one? Checkpoint. So
Yeah.
if you can get away from the station, things level out in terms of stability really quickly. People at the stations would be having server errors, while people out in the verse would actually avoid those server errors somehow. And I do believe that the way that they set it up is they had two servers controlling one solar system and four servers altogether for the shard. So two for Stanton, two for Pyro. And I'm not entirely sure how that was working. It didn't look like they were controlling specific areas. It looked like they were just kind of picking and choosing which things each server was picking up. I don't know. So
Yeah, it was a little hit and miss there too, which like that's the general idea of what I feel like EPT was hit and miss.
yeah, I agree. However, we did get to see some interesting sights in Pyro, and with this new build, I highly encourage everyone to jump into the EPTU because honestly, what they're looking for is high traffic so they can actually work out this this issue that they're tackling. I forget exactly what the name of their issue is or what exactly the issue is. I know it has something to do with communicating from server to server, transferring of data from server to server. The speed at which it transfers is not fast enough. There's so many entities that each server has to keep track of, and there's so many players and clients that it's trying to stream that data to that things are just getting backed up. So the more people that can get on, the better. I mean, let me rephrase. The more people that get on, the worse it is, but the better it is for CIG to analyze the issue and get it fixed.
Yeah. I think that because you mentioned that they were going to be working on a new build later today, I think they did make some post a little bit ago saying that it's actually going to be tomorrow. They won't be putting it out tonight, but it'll be tomorrow.
No, that's unfortunate.
So, yeah, unfortunately, but that was the
Um,
case there.
but yeah, so they did finally release 3.24.3 to live, so there's no more PTU. Now we're just going to have the ePTU. Um, and that will be kind of what we have moving forward until 4.0 drops. Now, I personally don't think it's going to drop anytime soon. I think that 4.0 is going to be pushed off all the way to the end of the quarter. I know they want to try and get it out before the end of the year, but I mean, we have one more month, month and a week actually, before the end of the year, and I don't think they're going to make that deadline. I don't think we're going to see it till quarter one. That was my prediction before. I believe it's on one of these streams, so you can fact check that if you like. Um, Someone said that it wasn't going to be till quarter two, so that's one of the bets we have going on too. And I think we had someone say that they expected it to launch this year. I don't remember who it was, but
I
so
argue February.
so what do you guys think? Do we have updated dates? Have you guys changed your time frame speculation as to when we might see 4.0?
Are we talking live, like fully dropped live, not
Yes, seeing
open PT
4.0 in live.
live?
I'm still sticking to my position of last quarter next year.
Last
Okay,
quarter
so
of
so
next year.
so you're
Or
pushing it
sorry,
all the
third
way
quarter
out.
next year. Sorry.
Okay, so you're pushing it out to third quarter. Got it.
You
I
really think? Wait. Hold on. I want to clarify this. You really think that they're not going to put Pyro in live until next August?
Pyro, my bad.
Okay,
Yeah,
Pyro
yeah.
is 4.0 is 1.0.
4.0 is Pyro. 1.0 is the big one.
I'm thinking 1.0. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
no, we
4.0
won't
is
see
Pyro. What we
1.0.
just played. What we just played like this, like on EPZU this past weekend.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna agree with Promo. I'm saying like February, March, like early March.
Okay, so that would fall in Q1. So January, February, March is Q1.
Yeah, because
So
my
go ahead.
initial take was that it was going to come out December. And then I got into the patch. Now, I did make an observation that they did not have any AU servers up for it, or Asia servers up for the not the Evocati, sorry, wrong test. The EPTU. They didn't have any of that stuff up for it. And I believe that all the Evocati testing that we were seeing where it was running really smoothly for them, I think that's purely because there was only like 100 people doing it at the time. And so after going in there and looking at the graffiti and that having crashing a server, I mean, I know that's not what did it, but like the moment I looked at graffiti and laughed, it crashed. Uh, I came to the conclusion that it's probably at the earliest, probably February.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I mean, I think it might be January to be honest, but somewhere in Q1 is when we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see it before the end of the year. I think they still have a lot of optimization to do. I think they did see people traversing from Stanton to Pyro and back. So the gate is working. People have traversed it. They have made the journey. This isn't Halo, so there's no great journey. But they've gone from Stanton to Pyro, so that works. They've proven it works. In fact, you can fly anywhere in Pyro now. You were able to go all the way out to Pyro 5 and even to Terminus. In fact, Ruin Station is at Terminus. Terminus is Pyro 6. Um, it it was really cool. I really enjoyed seeing the the bright green gas giant of Pyro 5 and traversing the moons, and each moon had its own kind of feel to it. There was one moon I didn't get a chance to go and see out of all the moons. Now, mind you, I've played in the Pyro Playground when it was first came out, so I had the ability um, to take part in that and experience the core planets. So Pyros 1, 2, and 3 is what they gave us. And that was fun. It was Bloom was beautiful. I'm not a huge fan of it. Too much yellow in my personal opinion, but still a beautiful planet. If I had to give them a critique though, when we landed, it wasn't Bloom. What did we land on? We landed. Where did Krendor fall through? Fall into the water.
That one I don't remember what it was called, but it was off of
Was
I
it
think it was off
Pyro
of
3 or Pyro 1?
yeah, I think it was Pyro 3.
Okay. So anyways, we landed and there was a body of water and one of our guys fell into the water and broke his leg and couldn't get out. I was going to get the ship and get back to him, but in the process I took a screenshot. And in that screenshot, I was looking at it later. In fact, let me see if I can pull that screenshot up for you guys. Image display. Give me just one sec. I'll get that screenshot pulled up.
In other news, blizzards across Microtech. Stay inside, folks. It's gonna be a cold one.
Ain't that the truth?
For all those living in R Corp, it's humid as usual.
Okay. So here's the picture. Let's get it up on screen now. All right, so there's the screenshot. Beautiful. But, I mean, you see the nice mellow clouds. You have this opening that shows through to the sky. You have, that's Pyro 5 right there. Okay, so no, this was one of the moons around Pyro 5, because that's Pyro 5. So we weren't on one of the inner planets yet. That was later. Anyways, look at the sand. If you can see the sand right there, it's very, very turbulent. That's sand. Why, if winds are blowing, that sand should be swept. Why is the sand so turbulent? It looks like an entire crowd just trampled through there. But it's a moon. There's no livestock, there's no wildlife, there's no party that just happened, there's no anything. Why is that sand so turbulent? That caught my attention, and I was looking at the picture and it was driving me nuts. There was something about the picture that just didn't feel right, and eventually it hit me, and it's the sand.
It should be smooth.
Yeah. You should see piles up around where the shrubbery is. So where the shrubberies are, if the wind blows, the sand should pile up on top of the shrubbery, maybe even start bending it a bit, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of weighted by the sand as the wind blows the sand on top of the shrubs. But the sand should be smooth. And as I walk through it, I should leave footsteps. And those footsteps should fade every time there's a windstorm. Now, I don't know if this moon has storms or even high winds for that matter, but it just, I don't know. So yeah, that picture, it just it drove me nuts. I liked it, but seeing that terrain and looking at it, it just doesn't make any sense. I can appreciate their new terrain generation and planet generation technology. I think Genesis is an amazing technology, but that stuff needs to change. If you're going to have a material on a moon, you need the material to act like that material.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's a little bit of a it's like a lack of attention to detail, but at the same time that's a very specific thing that like not a lot of people are going to think about. And if they ever add wildlife to the planet, then immediately it's fine.
Well, not necessarily, because that's a lot of turbulent sand right there. There's no reason that sand should ever exist except for maybe like
Sandworm.
no, even not that. Like sand doesn't look like that. You can't ever get sand to look like that unless you lay something across the sand with that pattern.
Well, I was just say that's what it looks like on the if you go to a beach And not like not the beach, but like the walk up to the beach. Like if you've ever stayed at a hotel on a beach and you walk out the back of the hotel and there's a bit of sand that you walk through to get to like the beach, that's exactly what the sand looks like. And it's because a bunch of people have gone through and stepped in it over and over in repeated places. And so you don't get legit footprints, but you get, like you said, just this turbulent sand all over the place. But if you've ever gone to White Sands, New Mexico, that's not what the sand looks like,
Yeah.
because it's smooth and it's like pretty much crafted by the wind.
Yeah, so let me pull this down.
Unless there's
Grab that.
ghosts there. Maybe there's ghosts walking around. You can call Zach Bagans and get a ghost adventure going.
So there's a couple different things here. Save. I'm just pulling these down from the internet real quick. The only time you'd get sand that is turbulent is if people have walked on it. So
Yeah.
where did that
It's
image?
just
There
been
it is.
heavily explored before you got there, Kelbeck. You weren't the
I
first
guess
person.
so. Like, holy shit. By people fatter than me.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, so wait, did that not download? All right, well, I'm just gonna pull this picture up real quick. Holy crap, that's a huge picture. Let me resize that.
This is the layers of a pencil.
No, so
This is an optic illusion.
this is windswept sand. Okay, this is one of the patterns that you would see for windswept sand. And mind you, this is like, I'm not entirely sure what the speeds of those winds would be to make that specific pattern, but the speed of the wind dictates the different patterns you'd see in the sand. Why did it not save the other picture? I was going to show you the turbulent sand image, which is very clearly the exact thing that Asa was talking about, the footprints in the sand. Did it save it? It did. Okay, so how come I didn't see it here? Interesting. Okay, well, we will just forego that. We'll move on. But yeah, needless to say, the sand doesn't make any sense. So that was really the only thing that caught my attention from all the screenshots I took was the terrain didn't seem to match the what it was supposed to be, the material that it was supposed to be. Other than that, everything was gorgeous. I loved flying through Pyro. I have an issue with how scarce stuff is. I shouldn't say it's an issue. It's a personal issue, obviously, because I wasn't prepared. There's not a whole lot of places to go out and restock, refuel, and rearm. So it's going to be a very hard place to live in. Very hard.
Yeah. It is. That is, and that's one thing we talked about a lot is you actually are going to have to fly the few smaller ships that have really good quantum range, or else you're going to have to fly big ships. But the other thing is it's like, yeah, it may take a long time to get somewhere, but there's also the travel back too, because like you might go somewhere that has no refueling, and the closest place for you to go is all the way back home, which could be the equivalent of going from Crusader to Microtech and then back is your closest place to get gas. And ships in Stanton, there's only like they're a little better at it now, but like small ships can't do that. They can maybe get to Microtech or close, and you get Michael 1, so you get a refuel, but you don't have that. So if you can't get all the way there at the very least, that's a problem. But you still have to consider your trip afterwards, because getting
Yeah.
there doesn't get you fuel half the time.
So for fuel, the light fighter in Stanton, the best example I can give you is I just flew one just now. I flew from Microtech to Crusader, and I had to stop at Hurston along the way. And my problem with it is that's me using one of the most fuel efficient drives for a light fighter.
And which fighter were you in?
I was in an F7, an F-7C Mark 1 Super Hornet.
Oh, okay.
That's a medium fighter, so that's even worse, like
Yeah, that says a lot about the small fighter.
Well, there's a couple things to keep in mind right now. So right now, all quantum drives are standardized. So the fuel consumption of the quantum drive is the same as every other drive. There are a few small differences like cooldown time and spool, but other than that, like the amount of distance each drive can go is solely determined on the size of your quantum tank now for this particular patch. That'll change in the future, I'm sure, just as they've done with the weapons and the shields. But
all I'm saying is I'm not able to make another jump.
yeah,
I mean,
and that's the thing. So in Pyro, even the C1, I was thoroughly shocked. The C1, which has the most wasted space in the wings ever, just could not make a jump across Pyro. I could not go 101 gigameters from Terminus to Pyro 5, whereas all of my other ships of the same size category could make the jump no problem.
and
Well,
that's
there's definitely going to be a hierarchy in my mind of what ships are best for Pyro, and for beginner pilots, I put the Banner Defender very, very high on that list.
Which is funny because the
agreed.
Banner
It's
Defender
like,
just got a nerf to the quantum tank.
did
Did
it
it really?
really? I didn't know about that.
Garbage. So yeah, G
What
really
is
hates us.
what is it? What is it now?
I didn't see the numbers to be honest. I just know it got a nerf to the quantum tank.
Because it was 3,300 initially, and that's what made it really good as a light fighter.
Yeah.
Um, well, that and the Sinja cannons that two-shot everything. That's like smaller than a Hornet.
So, I mean, ideally, yeah, if the tank is not small enough that it's still able to cross, you have to keep in mind that if you're only just barely able to cross the system, your destination has to have fuel. If you jump out there and there's no fuel, you're not jumping back.
Yeah, then you're stranded.
Then you
And,
got to
like,
call the fuel rats.
There was even a point, and Stompy was doing something specific, so like it is off. But like I know there was a point where Stompy was in his F8 and he ran out of fuel, and he wasn't traveling. He was going around looking for something, and so he was trying to do
Oh,
like
Pyro.
triangulate quantums. But yeah, in Pyro, like he ran out of fuel in his F8, like he was stranded, and like that doesn't really happen in an F8 in Stanton. But out there, even in a ship that big, I mean, like he could only do so much. And
I
That's
had
the
to
thing.
travel a couple hundred gigameters.
But
Like I'm saying,
Yes.
100. And I mean, typically in Stanton, you can go from Crusader to Microtech and back to Microtech, maybe back to Crusader a fourth time, but get like maybe a third of the way back.
yeah. You know, you get
see,
a lot.
my thing is, I think this is actually good, in my opinion, the running out of fuel thing. And I know that's probably not a popular opinion, but think about it. In the future, there's going to be more star systems. There's going to be more places that you have to travel to. Because we're so accustomed to Stanton, we don't really have to watch our fuel consumption. We're so used to always having enough. I think that's a
agree
good
with that.
quality. I think that's a good quality change. Because imagine this: you hunt somebody down for a bounty target. It takes you to Pyro. You're after them. Where people used to just jump because they had the fuel to do it. Now you have to really pick or choose if you take that jump.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the other thing. They've now created a reason for their starfarers to exist. And honestly, I think it's a very natural reason. I don't
That's-
feel that was fabricated or forced in any way. I think it's natural.
That's the caveat, though. They need to make sure it works because it doesn't.
Yes, they do.
Touche.
They need to be. That's the only way. And I really agree with Trauma. Like it's a really good step in the right direction, but only if they get their refueling ships working. Because if they don't, then it defeats the whole purpose of that. Because they have a whole plan laid out on how we'll be able to, like, with our friends, with our orgs, or through the use of just other people in the universe, be able to refuel
To
our
be
ships
real-
without the need of a station. But if they
To
don't,
be real with you, I
fucking-
thought we'd have the Vulcan by now.
which one is the Vulcan? I don't know the Vulcan.
I mean,
The Vulcan
honestly-
is the one that has the remote refuel pods. So instead of just being able to refuel one ship at a time, you fly up next to a couple ships and you can deploy the refueling drones to the ship
Yep.
and then continue on your way. It
See,
doesn't
yeah,
require you to not have to stop.
So
I thought we
here's
have that by now. It's only 20 meters long.
here's one
That'd be
thing that
cool as shit.
we're waiting on drone technology, but one thing that I honestly have
technology.
not
Me
seen in
too.
the game, which I am thoroughly shocked about, is there's no ice. There are no rocks out there made entirely of ice, or even partially of ice for that matter.
That's a good
Why
point.
are we able to mine and refine and sell off quantanium, which is the key ingredient to quantum fuel, but we can't make hydrogen? We cannot take ice, mine it, and refine it into its oxygen and hydrogen counterparts.
Why is he making sense?
Well, and
I'm sorry.
you have tons of ice down there on Yella. Yeah, you go
I
down to
know
Yella,
you
you
have
got
whole
tons of
moons
ice.
covered in ice,
Yeah.
but we can't
We
harvest
don't. We
it.
don't have our drilling ship to harvest microtech yet.
But no, I mean there should be like out in those asteroid rings, it's not just rocks out there. There's chunks of ice out there too. There should be, I should say. Like in the real world, in real life, out
You know what?
in space, there are chunks of ice literally floating by in asteroid fields and debris fields and in at fucking comets. Like imagine trying to just fly up to a passing comet, which I don't know, and harvest the ice off of it or whatever rare materials it might have. Which that would be a cool feature, by the way. Having rare comets that come through the system on a schedule or
Like Conan.
semi-irregular schedule maybe, and you have to match the velocity and still harvest the material off of it. It's literally the highest level of difficulty for a miner.
That
See,
would
that's
be
a good
crazy.
point, Kelbeck. Let me call Chris Roberts and get him in here real quick. so
Oh,
we can
please do.
discuss
Yeah,
this.
Are we
if
creating
you
a
wouldn't
skill ceiling
mind,
for miners now?
that
Oh,
would be
shit.
great.
What?
They need it. See, okay, here's my problem with mining. Here's the reason I don't do mining. So when I played Elite Dangerous, I mined all the time because it was actually entertaining to me. There was always the threat that somebody would roll up on you, or there was the fear that you'd barely bang against an asteroid and die. Now, my thing for star mining is it gets very boring after a period of time because there's no difference in it. And then eventually you get stuck in a lull. Now, if Kelbeck's idea comes to fruition, which I mean, still looking for Chris Roberts' number on my phone real quick. Give me like 12 years. Um, I think I think miners would love that.
I would.
The
I
rock
mean,
people, not the children. I think they would
Goddamn.
love that is because
love it.
the difficulty because like say there's a super rare resource that's something people would hire you for if you have to
Oh
have
yeah.
somebody that's skilled and knowledgeable in that
Not
craft
not
to
just
go
that,
get
you'd
it
have
for you.
wars fought over that single comet passing through the system.
Mm-hmm.
Not if the Bobs have anything to say about it.
Jump or
Yeah, but the Bobs
Yeah,
will try to do whatever
somehow
they can
those
to sing Kumbaya in a circle. Anyway,
somehow those
Kumbaya,
shielding stations will just
hello.
magically shield the comet passing through the system.
No, listen, they're gonna put an armistice zone surrounding the comet as it flies through
Oh
Stanton,
god.
so nobody can touch you.
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
Scott.
Beat him up, Scotty. Um. So yeah, I mean, all right. So let's get away from the speculative. We had some fun with that, but let's get back to what Pyro actually is. Were there specific features that any one of you picked out of the EPTU that you are really looking forward to? I know none of us really got into the mission side of it. None of us really even looked at our contracts. I know I didn't.
Well, so
I never
they
opened
had
They had
contracts.
VLRTs and bounty hunter missions, but they had nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, from what I understand, they really didn't turn many missions on. They weren't interested in getting any data out of missions.
so here's the interesting thing: we were actually supposed to be able to see more missions than we would normally have access with Rep, but that only worked about
Yeah.
50% of the time.
Well, the rep
Hmm.
system wasn't even turned on. I think they actually did say that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of where what I thought I was reading about the missions was like they weren't really looking to see those testing. They were trying to test something really different. So all they cared about was like traffic.
They
They wanted people in there.
they disabled Rep, but made it so you'd have access to missions without even having to get the Rep for them. It just didn't work properly. And the
Are
few
you
times
sure?
it did work, nobody could get out of the hangar. That's what I remember reading.
Well, I mean, they're putting a new build up again, hopefully tonight, but from what Acid has said, it looks like it might be tomorrow.
Ask Chris
Which-
Roberts trauma when you get him on the phone.
Yeah, please.
He's coming out
I'm
tonight
still
or tomorrow.
trying.
Yeah, but
Still
let me
trying.
buy a few hammerheads so I get to sell.
So, I mean, JD, did you get a chance to take part in the EPTU?
Oh yeah, I played a little bit. I think the most interesting part for me was just the fact that like even the normal stations have hidden areas, and those hidden areas have PvP.
Oh yeah, let's
And
talk
like
about
Love
that.
even
that.
simple things like the rabs, like
Yeah, the
yes,
contested
they're
zones are
effectively
great.
a normal bunker, but there's so much more to them. You actually have to move around, there's traps. It's just
Yeah.
much more fleshed out than anything we've got in Stanton.
Agreed.
I really enjoyed that area. I forget exactly what they call it.
Yes.
I
The
mean, I know they
contested
call it
zones?
the
Ghost
ghost
Arena.
That's the time.
ghost arena,
yeah.
but
Well, yeah, the encompassing term for all the stations combined is called the contested zones.
right, okay.
Beautiful.
So I only ever did the contested zone on Ruin Station. I wanted to go to the other stations, but every time I got on to actually go to another station, I either A, got distracted because ADD is a
Because we've
bitch,
never been to Pyro before, and it's pretty things.
right?
Yes.
Ooh,
Or
shiny!
B,
Ooh, shiny star system.
I would crash halfway there, or C, I couldn't even get out of Ruin Station. So,
True. Very true.
Facts.
but yeah, so I think this next build, I'm probably gonna pick Checkpoint Station as a place to start, and I'm gonna try and see what that's all about, and see what their contested zone's like.
That's
Oh, yeah.
smart.
I didn't know contested zones were a thing, but obituary was very not scary would be the word, but I felt on edge the entire time I was walking around that space station.
So
From
those
my
contested zones,
good.
Mhm.
they have an overall like overarching goal. So with each of those zones, you go through and use these different key cards to gather other endgame key cards there. You got to do them in all the different ones. There's going to be some in the stations, some you have to find in the world. And eventually, when the elusive executive hangar comes out, you'll need all those key cards from each station to then unlock the endgame rewards. And that's what the overall intention is for those zones.
Well,
That
there are
makes sense.
yeah, there are 3 executive hangars that I was
Wait,
able to locate in the game files.
Yep.
What's an executive hangar? I'm not asking so people can understand what it is. I'm asking because I legitimately don't
It's
know.
a location that, as far as we know right now, you use the key cards that you get, and you can unlock a special edition of a ship. Because we've seen several executive class ships that have been data mined.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
And
we're-
armor and weapons.
hold on. Let me see if I can find you. Keep going, guys. Keep talking about this stuff. I'm gonna try and pull up a picture real quick.
So my idea with the thing that you brought up would mean now there's something to strive to. Now we have an in-game goal in Star Citizen currently when 4.0 comes out, which would be
Exactly.
the race to get this executive crap. Now, if an
Correct.
a bunch of org members get it, is it just one person gets it? Do we get it permanently? Like
get the
that's the
blueprint.
real question. Okay, I see blueprint. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So we'd
only one
be
person
able to
can take that
craft.
blueprint at a time.
All right. So
But
when I
once
get
we
my
lock it
hands on
down,
it, I execute the rest of you guys. Heard.
the thing is, once we lock it down, we just stockpile those key cards. We defend the shit out of it. We
Mm-hmm.
control who goes in and goes out. We make a fuck ton of money from it.
Well, not just that. Like, obviously, we want to be the first ones to get to the end game stuff. So now that I've said that, of course, on open air, there's going to people who will try and stop us, and then there will be those that, who knows, maybe they'll want to join us and take part. Either way,
Why fight us when you can join us?
right, exactly.
Yes.
But
Assimilate.
we'll have to move from station to station, right?
Assimilate
So
or
we'll
die,
we'll
bro.
we'll farm out a station, and then we'll move, another day to another station, farm that station out. I can tell you from being in those from the Ghost Arena, specifically, there are loads and loads of camping locations. If you're going in and a crew is already established in there, wow,
Debris.
you're gonna get rolled so quick if you are not paying attention. Like, you have to have an ace crew if you're gonna go in on foot and route a crew that is already entrenched. So, I mean, good luck with that.
But I mean,
I,
what you're describing is just trench warfare in a nutshell. Anyways, I mean that's What's the benefit?
I mean, it's actually more guerrilla style because I mean there are so
Mhm.
many places you can hide. You could literally have a line of sight through a crack in the wall,
That's
and it
crazy.
could be down a long corridor. You'll never fucking see that guy, but you can just beam them through that crack, and anyone walking up that corridor is dead.
What we're seeing is the rise of like Tarkov style gameplay in Star Citizen, like
I mean,
heavily
that's I
stealth
was
focused FPS, where the skill is actually going to fucking matter. Tactics are actually becoming a thing. It's not stand still and who shoots each other faster than the desync.
I was
Yeah.
explaining that
Shit's
to
about to get real.
Kovac yesterday. So when I boarded the Idris, they came at me. They didn't come at me in waves as much as it was just one massive wave, and I had to keep pushing up and down the stairs to reposition myself to take to get to the Idris bridge. There was no option for me to stand still and try to do it as an attrition, is because there was 5 or 6 enemies on me, and I told them that it felt like Tarkov when I had to quickly switch my mags out and shit like that. Um, and so
Right.
it felt good, like, and I don't generally praise Star Citizen as much as I probably could because I think there's a lot of problems with it. Um, but for the way that the combat felt yesterday, it felt better. I felt healthy. Um, the servers were running real good. I had
Until we got the
consequences
capital
for the
ships
mistakes
fighting.
that I made. Yeah. I mean, I still hit 45 frames.
Honestly, taking that Idris was a real fun experience. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would do it again. But all the missions are bugged at the moment.
The one in my
Not
server is apparently up
necessarily.
and
There are
running.
some that are working here and there. I was
Yeah,
seeing
they
some footage today of people they were playing with Idrises, not necessarily taking
yeah my
over, but they were doing the missions.
my server said that it's currently up and running.
So they
Oh
might
yeah,
have
Well,
to.
shit, I'm
up
joining
and
on you
running
then.
is one thing, but if they've actually spawned is a whole nother story.
Yeah,
That's what
they're
they said would
spawning more
happen.
frequently than they were last night.
Where did that video go? Someone posted a video. It was a patch update video. Where did I see that?
Jamie, can you
Was it
pull
in
this
our
up?
server or did I see it somewhere
Yeah,
Oh
else?
hell
literally,
no!
literally.
Mantis does not
Where
fit in
is
the
Jamie?
Polaris. Confirmed. I don't even need to double check that. I just know off it by looking at it. Does the 300i fit in the Polaris?
So I'm
Yeah,
still
like I was
looking.
saying,
Fascinating.
I'm still looking for that helmet. Um, but it was very, I don't know, Nordic, I want to say, or maybe I don't know.
I know there's supposed to be special reinforced versions of armor that we can get for those areas. Like there's a new Morozov set. Their photo that's going around right now, where it's got proper armor plating on it, and it looks like a flak vest.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
if
That's
anyone has a
cool.
picture of that, point me at it so that way I can pull that up and show.
Ah, shit, I can try to find it. I saw it on Star Citizen Discord like 6 hours ago, so I'm gonna have to dig through messages.
Would the control find option help when searching through them? And do you remember any like words that would have
There's
been near
thousands
it?
of messages to go through there. I'm just gonna have to look at my
That's true.
messages and find the ones that are near it.
Fair enough.
Where did it get posted? Um, crud. Still looking for it. I thought it was on our server. And I guess I was mistaken.
Yo, Kel, I'm about to send you the image.
Okay. Oh, here it is.
There you go.
I found the video too, so give me just a sec.
Probably the best Morozov armor I've seen.
Tear it up. Tear it up.
All right. So let me get that picture real quick. Let's pause that. Save image. Let's get this pulled up here. All right. Why is that not showing? Okay, so that's a PNG. Let's open that one instead.
Oh, what the
I'm
fuck?
definitely interested in seeing how heavily what's the word?
My own
How
my own
heavily
Polaris
trafficked
PDF
those areas
system
are.
just killed me. What the? Bro.
Oh, that's why. There we go. All right,
Like
so
we
coming
know
up
that
on
there's
screen
been,
here.
sorry.
There you go. So
Dude,
this
they
is the
need to
new
nerf
Morzov.
PDS so hard.
I
Oh, that
still
looks
don't like
Hey,
those
yo.
legs. I still don't like those legs. I think the legs are
They
just
look
as
a
ugly
lot
as the.
thinner. They don't look as chunky.
But I like the chest. The chest
Yeah, the chest is
and
gnarly.
I'm not a
Even
fan of
got
the arms
pyrotech
because it
amalgamated
feels
on it.
very like welded on extra plate. The shoulder
feels kinda
looks fine.
swat.
The chest looks fine. I don't like the forearms though. The forearms just, I don't know.
Oh, that is a plate. Oh, okay. I see that. I thought I meant like the shoulders area. Yeah. So
I'm
it's
Has
black jacket,
liking.
long
I
sleeve.
like the art style of the jacket.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this is going to be the introduction of like specialized armor, where we're going to see chest plates and stuff that are going to have better ballistic resistance, things like that. Like,
Isn't that what
why else
Trauma's
would you
always
have a
wanted?
plate?
Yes.
Remember specifically that's what like something you were like waiting for. Like,
Yes.
which
For
I'm all
many
for it.
years. There's another set of armor I found on Twitter the other day.
The Almighty
Hell
Robert
yeah.
just heard your plate Trauma.
Boost
He
the
has granted
skill
your wish.
stealing and FPS and shaft the fighters. Love it.
Okay. So
Puff.
remember the redacted things that were in the CitizenCon 2954 digital goodies pack?
See?
Well, they've been revealed.
Is it
One
the
of
armor?
them, no, it's not.
Yeah.
One of them is, see if I can capture this real quick. It is a skull statue. Honestly, it looks really cool. Let's grab that.
Will it give us hidden abilities like in Power World? That was funny. Come on,
I don't know anything about Power World.
man.
I was
The
listening
game
to
sounded
you.
like shit.
Say I've never
I
been.
played it. I played the shit out of Pyro, but we're not talking about that right
Okay, so let's get rid of this.
now. I had more human pals than I did animal pals.
I know.
Catch my drift.
Mm-hmm.
So, player density wise, how do you guys think it's going to be split Stanton to Pyro? Because obviously it's going to be a lot more heavily populated than Pyro at the beginning,
Mhm.
but something tells
The
me that a lot of the
Bobs
Bobs
are-
and more casual players are going to run and hide.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Bobs
Because
are
they're gonna
eventually going to
realize-
return to Stanton.
Well, it's like
All
they're
right.
starting. I've seen like videos now of people talking about how like their EPTU experience was not what they expected because it was a whole bunch of people guarding jump gates and killing them as soon as they went to Pyro, and they were like, "I don't know if CIG is really going to allow this when it comes out." I'm like, did they not understand what a flawless
That's
synth
what Pyro
system
is.
meant? Like,
Yeah, I know.
and
Seriously,
like,
I
they're
love
now
the
going
people.
to realize.
Every time Xenothreat invades, the cannon area they invade from is Pyro. It's not a safe place.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not just that. You've got, which by the way, the skull's up on screen now, so you can take a look at that. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's
But
sick.
the system is lawless. There's going to be no intervention whatsoever by CIG. I guarantee it. And if they do, it is because there is a Bob CIG employee who's got some kind of stick up their ass who thinks that they have the authority to punish someone doing activities that are completely advertised in this game as a game arc,
Shout out
as
the
a play
homies.
arc, right? And they'd be overreaching.
If you don't want me to patrol and kill people, don't give me a ship that's a patrol ship.
Mm-hmm.
That can kill people.
If you don't want me to block the jump gates, don't give me a ship that's cannonly made to block the jump gates.
I can't
So-
find any photos of it, but there is a photo. There's a photo online. That one of the streamers posted. They were looking at the final day because the hour had gone through for the final day of sitcom of IAE, and there was these armor sets on
The
display.
ugly purple ones.
They looked really clean, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I liked those ones.
Yes, the
So anyways,
Barney sets.
Up on screen is the other thing that comes in the digital goodies pack. This is a sandworm
Woohoo.
plushie.
Oh,
I
I
had
thought
that.
you were gonna say that was a melee weapon.
That looks
Oh,
like
no,
some
No,
of my
no,
flesh.
that's. I mean, here's the thing. It's kind of a dual-purpose plushie. I will let your imagination run wild with
They're
it, but
based-
depending
I was
on
gonna
whether your
say.
character is male or female, it has 2 uses.
It's a fleshy and a plushie.
It's a fleshlight.
That's some flip fleshlight.
Yeah,
Fleshlight.
It's a
plush
Dune
light.
popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
It's even ribbed for her pleasure. Anyways,
Yeah.
Ah,
so anyways, those came in your digital goodies pack. You should have access to those now. And I'm still trying to find that
I'd
helmet.
beat you with a sandworm, JD.
I bet you would.
Damn right. Whipping out my sandworm every day.
Also, a handy little feature. I don't know if you guys knew, but your missions that you track show up on your map, which most of you have already known. But you can actually click on the mission and navigate to the mission without having to do all of the manual searching. You just click on the mission.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
if
saw
it
that.
wants to
It's
work.
very- It's very nice.
Trying to find. Come on, where's the helmet? Oh, speculation is the CSV-FM is going to be sold at IAE. So we'll see.
See what?
ESV cargo.
It's
Oh.
the
Yep, truck.
it's the medium drone vehicle for building bases.
Oh, okay.
Helmet.
Killbeck said it here
helmet.
first. Base building confirmed. If we're wrong, everybody yell at Killbeck.
I mean, base building's already been
Killbeck!
confirmed, but it's not coming in this patch.
He swears 4.0 release.
Okay, so you asked about the quantum tank. I've got the quantum tank. It has quantum fuel capacity from 5 million to 700,000.
What?
Quack.
5
ship are we talking
million to
about?
700? The Banu Defender got
Yep.
nerfed like that?
Yep.
Damn,
Jesus.
never mind. The Banner
What
Defender
the
isn't the
fuck?
best.
Yeah,
ship.
seriously, never mind.
No,
God
it's
damn.
never
damn
been the best ship.
criminal.
The best ship was the Argo Cargo.
No, we were just talking
We're-
about for like distance
We're talking
travel
like
with
legitimate,
guns.
non-joking
Pyro.
aside. Like
I'm not
travel
joking
Yeah.
either.
vehicles.
So here's the other interesting. The SRV has gone from 500,000 to 2.2 million.
What?
That's
Oh,
better.
yeah, I
That
guess
makes
yeah, it's a tow
sense.
truck. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
That makes total sense, though.
Tow truck.
So if your
Is
that
fighter
gonna
can't
become my
make the
fucking-
trip, turn your shields off, let them tow you across the
Oh.
verse.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but can you take that into freaking can you take vehicles that you're towing into
Quantum,
Quantum.
yes.
Okay.
As long
Yes,
as it
it's-
doesn't
you take
exceed
it
the
into
tow
a
truck's
jump
max weight
gate.
limit, you can take it into Quantum with you.
My question is the
Beautiful.
jump gate.
Okay,
Can you SRV
I-
through
I
a jump
have-
gate?
I have
That's a good
something
question.
for you. Okay, something has shown up in the files as a size 12 infrared torpedo. Does anyone?
Javelin.
You really think they're gonna put the javelin out already?
No, but the javelin hasn't been shooting its torpedoes. If there's an event coming up, it might be possible the javelin now shoot the size 12 torpedo.
Okay, so we have speculation. We have someone who thinks that the javelin is going to be involved in a mission somewhere where the use of the size 12 torpedo is necessary, but it is in the game files. So if you're interested, size 12 torpedo is confirmed.
You said speculation calls for objection.
Hearsay.
Sustained.
Overruled.
Look, if you're not careful, I'll shit on your pillow.
Whoa,
Listen.
chill herd.
One of my
find you in
favorite
contempt of court.
diseases or ailments to get is pink eye. So go right ahead, sweetheart.
Well, I mean, I would be down for that, but I recently stepped on a bee.
I just like RPing IRL as a pirate. You know, it's fun to walk around.
I just like making fun of Amber Heard.
Yeah, that too. There you go.
Doesn't seem right. This is wrong. There's no way that this is an accurate thing. There's no way it's 18 minutes for a Polaris.
That's too quick. That's way
That's
too
too
fast.
quick.
What?
Because what it takes, like, is that after expedite, right? I assume.
I'm gonna try to expedite it, yeah.
Oh, wait, so that's before expedite?
No, before expedite is an hour 15 minutes. After
Oh,
expedite,
okay.
it is 18:51. Yeah,
That's
too
still
fast.
like that's still fast for after expediting that. Yeah, that's
And it
weird.
cost me only 5K to expedite it, so that's
Only
seems
5K?
really wrong.
What?
I
What?
think I only spent 5K, or I spent 50K. One of the two.
Still, like
Even
50K still isn't a ton.
Yeah.
No,
I
I
could do a
spent
mission.
5K. That seems off.
Damn.
Well, here's the other thing too: is like I was listening to somebody talk about refueling the Polaris, or not refueling, but repairing the Polaris, and it cost them like 1.5 million to repair their Polaris. Now I don't know how much damages they took, but I'm
Good.
like, okay, that's like a lot of money. Like
Another
people
thing to
are
think
gonna
about.
be
It
spending
costs-
lots of money.
It cost me 1.2 million to repair the Idris after we captured it.
That makes sense.
And all
You
I
know,
did
talking
was
about
damage
these
the turret.
costs. So I'm assuming you guys all saw the photo that went around from one of the 4.0 builds where they repriced munitions.
Oh
Nope.
yeah, well,
Now, a size
we saw
9
that.
Size 9 was like 600K. Now we have
Beautiful.
size 10s in play. How bad do you think that's going to hit?
Honestly,
Well, were
it's not
those
gonna be that bad.
prices in Pyro? Because prices in Pyro are things cost more than they do in Stanton.
Yeah.
Because like you can buy the same thing for different price. Like in Pyro, what was it? An attrition stompy cost 120 grand for one size 4 attrition.
Yep.
And in
Okay,
and
guys.
in Stanton, it's not that expensive.
I found the helmet. You guys ready for this?
Always.
Yes.
I feel like this is a combination of Master Shredder meets Viking. Here you go.
Are you talking about the new Paladin helmet, the Cataphract armor?
I don't know what it's called, but there it is.
There's a new armor set. I don't know. Where did you post it?
Okay.
It's up on stream.
Bro looks like a space medieval
Oh
samurai.
yeah, that's the Cataphract armor. So there's an entire armor set that's supposed to go with that you're supposed to be able to unlock.
That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
Ooh.
that's the Cataphract armor. It is modeled
Interesting.
after a medieval armor set.
Oh,
Yeah,
sick.
Medieval.
that helmet alone though like I said, it reminds me of a clash of Viking meets Master Shredder.
Yep.
So anyways, let's not turn that off. I kind of need to be seen. Let's turn this off. So anyways, we haven't really been streaming too terribly long, but I mean, I don't want to spoil a whole lot more of Pyro for anyone. I want to encourage people to actually get in the verse when the EPT reopens up. It's only going to be open for a limited amount of time, by the way. They've said that they're not going to be holding the build up forever. So
And then it's gone and locked in the vault. You'll never get it again.
yeah, just like Disney.
Yep.
Welcome to War Citizen.
Until like the
You walk
50th
away with good
anniversary,
stuff.
we'll remaster Pyro.
Yeah, and bring it out again.
Yeah.
Um,
Pyro
need to
live
remaster
action featuring
Stanton.
Rachel
Stanton
Butler.
sucks compared
True.
to Pyro. Let's be real here.
Bring back
So-
Olisar.
I can tell you right now, size of Pyro doubled, easy. 101 gigameters from Terminus to Pyro 5.
Mhm.
That is huge.
Huge.
If you can jump, yeah, huge. It's huge. If you can
Mate.
jump from Crusader to Microtech and back on one fuel tank, you can make the trip out from Terminus to Pyro 5. If you start in any of the core planets, you can go out to any of those planets easy. It's from the core out, it's about 54 gigameters. It's a big solar system. There are not very many places to repair, rearm, and refuel. In fact, the map is improved in the sense of it will show you exactly what services they offer and whether they can service you or not, more so than they do now. They will tell you what stores are now in that place. If you go there, you have a whole list of specific stores. They go, okay, there's NPC or NPC, wow, there's FPS gear here. There's food here. There's ship parts here, right? It tells you specifically what kind of stuff is there. So that's awesome. Uh, anyways, to not go too far into it, EPTU either tonight or tomorrow sometime. Check out the EPTU, get it downloaded, jump in, run the test. I don't know what their window of time is going to be. Hopefully it's more than 3 hours, but yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be rough,
Unpopular
by the way.
opinion.
Rough, but fun.
Unpopular opinion or popular opinion. Judging on how large Pyro is, something that I've always wanted, and I know this is dumb because this is the inner med runner and me bleeding out. But something that I thought of when I was looking at the size of the map while I was busy frozen trying to move in a space station. Is I noticed how large it was. And if we can, like they said, we can get our refueling ships to work and we can get the SRVs, I believe that if someone runs out of fuel with a cargo ship, I think there's money to be made
Oh, absolutely.
owning an SRV now.
This is
Um,
so in Elite Dangerous, a group was formed called Fuel Rats,
Fuel
and
Rats,
they
yes.
spread out into other sci-fi games where travel like this is
Mind Flayers.
possible. They are also in Star Citizen. This gives them an opportunity to actually do what they did in Elite Dangerous and actually go and save people from from the void. And the
I
best
know.
part
I
about
was a
Fuel
rat.
Rats is they don't charge you for it. At least they didn't in the past. They may now, but they
No,
didn't.
I don't. I was my last interaction with them a couple years back. That was a couple years back, 2.5 years ago. They did not charge because it wasn't they weren't out there. They took donations, but
Yeah.
they did not charge you because let's be real, in Elite Dangerous, there was no real way to do a transaction like that.
Yeah,
Um,
and we're not sponsored by the Fuel Rats, by the way. We know about them and their
I mean, I
services.
used to be sponsored by them.
We won't go into that.
I was one of their go-to murder guys. There's something side to that.
Anyways, so there's lots and lots of opportunity. If your light fighter can't make the trip, have an SRV tow you across. If you don't want to be towed and you want to have your ship stored, there's going to be stuff available for that too. Honestly, I don't think the Ironclad is going to be out anytime soon. I think we're probably going to see another year go by before we see any more talk about the Ironclad. I could be pleasantly surprised, but I'm going to throw that out there about another year and see if anyone picks it up and
So
runs with it.
I'm gonna raise devil's advocate against that. They showed the Ironclad, at least the Ironclad Assault, as being one of the ships that they're gonna try to knock out in 2025. They said the same thing about the Polaris, and boom, we got the Polaris.
Yeah, but the
My
Polaris
only
was already being
fear,
worked on.
my only fear is with the Ironclad is I think we're gonna see the Perseus next year and the Ironclad potentially early 2026 or mid 2026.
I'm really hoping that we actually either in this IAE or the next ship sale we see the base building module.
I can see it happening for Invictus.
I want to see them commit to the base building module for the Galaxy. I
You
don't
know
know if
what?
it's
It would make total sense for the Perseus to be shown off during Invictus.
Well, yeah, Invictus is all about the fleet,
Warships.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Perseus, any ship that is military class or supposed to be military class will be shown during Invictus. Anything that is generally not military but is more civilian oriented, you're gonna see at IAE.
Perseus confirmed for Invictus 2026. I said it here first.
Oh dear. That is his opinion. I'll leave it at that.
The
I'll take my
captain's
gun back.
log lied to me. They told me. They said.
I'd love to go into an LFG and hear somebody berate our top podcast, but that's just because we know they're listening. That's a win, bro.
Right. We're gonna you know what, that's gonna be our tactic from now. We're just gonna start dropping highly controversial opinions and see if we see them in the verse.
That works out well.
Yeah,
hear that,
yeah. The
Captain's
galaxy is gonna be out next week, guys.
Yeah, you didn't hear
You heard
it?
it here first.
They said it on Spectrum today.
And then
I
they
lied.
promptly deleted their
EPTU is
post.
out right now. Go download it.
So why is the
Acid,
captain's log
you
so
almost made me go
popular?
look. How
Hate
dare you?
watchers?
But
Got a bunch of hate watchers watching our stream.
anyways, I'm looking forward to the next EPTU. I'm gonna be a part of it. I'm gonna be trying to do my part to help him out and stress test the system.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, and also like we're getting a wipe on 4.0. So like everything we're doing right
oh
now
yeah,
doesn't matter. The
let's talk
sooner
about that.
4.0 comes, the less things matter. We're
Oh, that's
losing
right.
money. We're losing all our
Wow.
ships. We're losing all our inventory. It's
That-
gone when Pyro
That's a great
comes.
point. Yep. So
So a lot of
EPTU
people
PTU comes out whenever they push that shit for 4.0. Take part in it
Yeah.
because being in the PU doesn't matter anymore. They have
Yeah, unless you're
confirmed
trying to have
100%
fun.
it's a full wipe.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that a lot of people, we've gained what, 2 million players in this game since our last wipe.
Yeah,
Like
the
our
last
last
wipe was
major wipe.
April
A lot-
2023. That was the last time
a
they did a
lot-
3-pillar
A
wipe.
lot of people have never experienced the full wipe. They've experienced the mini wipes or the reputation and like the standing, but nobody's ever had the newer players, at least from my experience, haven't experienced the joy and trauma. I want to add that too, the joy and trauma of waking up.
They haven't
logging
experienced
in,
you?
and you don't know. They will when they get the Pyro.
They will,
they have-
motherfucker.
But they haven't experienced the 0 to hero Reap gameplay. And I think that's going to be really healthy for a lot of people who think that a lot of people say when the game goes live, like, oh, everything we earn here is going to transfer over. I think I'm very excited to see a wipe come in because I want them to realize that's not at all how that's going to work.
I will admit I'm extremely sad that I'm going to be losing all of my sets of Xenothreat armor that we spent like multiple days harvesting.
I do feel about that. I'm gonna lose all my legendary dust of my dust devil armor that I've been farming up.
I love the ADP Mark IV armor and the fact that they turned the ADP Mark IV into a variant of Xenothreat with black and red. It literally reached out to me and said, take me. So I went to the station and I murdered a bunch of them and I took their armor and that's exactly what I did.
To you when you heard that.
What?
One thought I had: wait until Trauma experiences Ghost Arena. with how he performed on the Idris the other day. Wait until Trauma. You know about Ghost Arena, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's the
Ghost
contested
Arena.
zone in
Ghost Arena is a PvP arena on Ruin Station that you can go down into.
Well, so I think that a lot of times when you guys aren't online, I go play Star Marine. And so the reason I'm playing Star Marine is I'm trying to, well, I can't say that on stream, but I'm playing Star Marine for a reason and it involves an org. And that's about all I can say.
He's trying to build
that's only Counter-Strike and like Valorant. But my thing is that there's the top PvP org that I'm trying to interact with. And I'm trying to build myself and try to get on the leaderboard so they recognize me. I've gotten pretty solid at Star Marine lately. So
well, now we're gonna have a reason to go into those places. Now, there's some things that we've already discovered about that place, and we're not going to share that here. You're going to have to go and figure that out on your own. But there are some really cool stuff. There's also a lot of stuff that literally leads to nowhere. There's a whole lot of like puzzle and pathing and stuff like that, and alternate routes, and sometimes it just leads to a dead end. But it's cool to explore nonetheless. I highly encourage everyone to get in, especially into the Ghost Arena. If you have any inkling of FPS capabilities, jump in there. Don't be afraid to lose gear because it's really easy to get gear back. Jump into the Ghost Arena. I've gone into the Ghost Arena completely naked and walked out with full kit. So I mean, yeah, it's fun. When I do 0 to hero, I legitimately do 0 to hero. I go in with nothing but my skibbies on, and I just knock people out, take their shit, and then mow down the rest. Yeah, my skibbies.
I totally didn't hide in a corner with no armor and then neck chop a guy who came in at one point and take all of his rig.
You got to be careful. Head on a swivel when you're in there, guys, because it's gonna be brutal.
Rat Nation is gonna dominate.
Yeah, Rat Nation.
Let's not give them any more hints. Let's let them develop
You're
their
gonna
own
be seeing
strategies.
Stank Rat come over to fucking make the move from Tarkov to Star Citizen.
I don't know if you guys knew the Tarkov guy. What was his name? Exfil Camper.
I don't know if I know him, but I bet he's the same idea as Stank Rat. That's the main rat of Tarkov now.
Exfil Camper would literally he would find these locations that he could post up in where you'd never think to look for him, and he would just camp an exfil. You could do the same thing in this. It's really not hard. There's lots of little nooks and crannies. There's little ins and outs.
I mean, that's the basics of like what we do in Stanton. You know, hiding at a salvage yard if you're doing a ground thing. You just hide. You hide by the trash, and then
there's some real ratty people in here. It's great.
Any game breeds rats. Even BR Stompy will tell you. Rat system, sometimes the best system.
Oh, absolutely. I was a huge rat in Tarkov when I played.
I had to teach my stepdaughter about camping in video games, and I had to tell her, listen, it's a method. People are always going to do it. And
people are going to hate you for it because they don't. Yeah.
Yep. Because she was mad about people camping. I'm like, nope, that's games.
I can respect that because a lot of people. So I play a lot of Call of Duty. I've made that very clear as the years have gone on.
That's disgusting. Stop it. Don't talk about that.
But anyways, one of my things that I do is when I'm playing Search and Destroy and it's literally just me and one of your guy left, I start nading all the corners. Like if I'm going into the checkpoint, I'm trying to defuse that bomb, I'm gonna nade the corner. 9 times out of 10, I get a kill in that corner. Guess who was there? A little camping rat. Made a little hole in the wall, went in there, had a sniper barrel pointed out, was waiting, all cartoonishy. It's annoying, but I have to respect the fact that it is a legitimate way to play the game.
It is. People hate it. Camping is something that people absolutely despise. It's just like in Star Citizen. One of the things that people absolutely hated was missile dumping. They still hate it, but it's for some reason in the new flight model they stopped bitching so much. It's now like the new meta. I don't know, but in the old flight model, if you just did nothing but dump missiles, they fucking cried at you. And it's like, why? I'm using a weapon system built into my ship. Just fucking, if you don't want me to use missiles, turn off your shields and I'll stop using missiles. Go for it.
I used to fly the Freelancer miss around all the time, and that had like 60 missiles on it. And I would just missile dump people. When other people were fighting, I just sit in the background and I'd provide support because that's what that vehicle's for. Is just to provide missile support.
The hammerhead,
missiling, they start crying.
If you down rack the missiles or the downsize the missiles for the hammerhead, you get like 64. If you do the Cuddy Blue, you can get like some 32 missiles or
48,
more.
48.
48. Okay. So there you go. You got that. You've got the literally the saber, Firebird.
Yeah, well, that's why people stopped complaining. That honestly, now that you say that, that's exactly why. Is because they put out a ship that literally does what people complained about, and they were like, "Oh, well, they don't fucking care."
It's all missiles, all missiles all the time. Well, I mean, hey, Stompy or Acid, they already did that. It's called the Eclipse. They already had a ship dedicated to that.
But the problem is like you always got that complaint a lot more out of like smaller ship pilots. Like Connie pilots didn't necessarily complain about getting missile spammed. They knew that's what was going to happen when they flew it. It was like
Because they're
arrows,
flying a missile
Gladiuses,
spammer.
Hornets that are flying around. You go into a dogfight and you just get missile spammed by like a Freelancer, a Cutlass, a Hammerhead, and you're
I'd love
pissed
the
off
complaining.
about it.
I love the complaining.
like,
all
we
you're
didn't
doing is
have that.
backstrafing and missile spamming. Okay, what'd you want me to do?
But
Fly through
light
your
fighters
cockpit?
didn't have
Oh, now you're
anything
ramming.
other than those big ships, and then the Saber comes out, and then now they have an equivalent sized ship that's doing it to them, and then they're just like, oh, okay, well now fuck us, and they just start doing
the
it themselves.
problem that I always
Hot take
saw
from
with
Acid.
people in their light fighters and their complaints about missiles is they would be running the biggest missile they could run on their ship, which means they got 2. Like on best, like Arrow had 2 missiles. But if
Yeah.
you outfit your arrow properly, you could run 12 missiles on an arrow.
Yeah,
Like,
What so
absolutely.
many people don't
It's-
know about missile racks? They just like think, oh, I'll just put a different missile on. They don't realize that they can
change the
you're saying,
size. Yeah.
the same. It's the same thing with the Gladiator. I downsized the Gladiator, so I went from 16 missiles to 38. Like, and I only downsized them by 1. I went from
And
size
the
3 to size
Inferno and the
2s.
Ion are capable of having significantly more missiles too.
32 missiles, or you could upgrade them to 2 size 5 torpedoes, which are just as effective against light fighters as they are against big ships. So
Well, I'd hope so.
something I like to always push forward. I
But
have a clip somewhere on my PC of me smoking a Cuddy Black that was bugging me. It took off and I fired a torp at it. That was the end of its story. Nobody expects the size 5s out of the Ion. What's this? Huh. All 4 elevators on New Babbage work.
wow, that's impressive.
What about Area
I
18?
know. Oh yeah, I'm reading that people are still getting stuck.
Yeah, that one's been bugged since for people who are listening who don't know, Area 18 don't spawn there right now in live because it's fucked up.
Good thing I didn't.
Yeah, it's funny because that I think Shaw was having that problem yesterday. As a matter of fact, he couldn't get out of the elevators in Area 18, and then it's
Oh, yeah.
a big thing today. Too, lots of people.
They're
have been
getting to
talking
the
about it.
hangars. The gist I'm getting from I got from Global Chatter was they'd get to the hangars and then the hangars just wouldn't open for them.
Well, all right. So
okay.
let's wrap up our Pyro talk. Does anyone else have any kind of closing statement about Pyro?
I would say my thing for Pyro, and I feel like not enough streamers and people are iterating this. If you hate PvP, don't go to Pyro.
Please,
Like,
please, for the love of God, don't come to. You know what? Come to Pyro at least once.
'cause you're-
Let me kill you.
you're gonna come to Pyro. And here's my theory. The average Bob's gonna come to Pyro. They're going to explore, because let's be real. If there's someone like me watching them come through the gate, I'm gonna stalk them for a bit. I'm gonna wait till they're finally enjoying the new system, and that's when out of nowhere, size 10 torpedo collides with their Aurora
It's
MR.
size 10. Come on,
And-
don't do them like that. Make it size 9.
And I'm gonna. You don't want the torpedo being larger than the ship that kills them? Okay, fair enough. But my thing with it is that a lot of people, I go into the LFG and I just sit. During work, I listen to the LFG, is because it's better than listening to my customers. I'm glad my cam's not on and nobody knows who I actually am, but I'm not. That's what I do. And what I've listened to is a lot of people will talk about Pyro is going to be such a great opportunity for more new mining locations, new salvage opportunities. That's really cool. Who's behind it?
On that front, I'm gonna burst everyone's bubble right now. While there are 2 new ores that have been identified in Pyro, majority of all the ores that you're going to find in Pyro are the exact same ores that are in Stanton. So, stay in Stanton if you're a miner and you don't want to deal with PvP.
Did we check for rock? Did we check rock mining?
Yeah, I went and checked everything.
All right.
So, but yeah, there are 2 new ores, by the way. And I have their names. They're not pulled up. I can't. I'll probably talk about them at some other time. But there are 2 new ores.
This is the swap now, and this is my opinion. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not. My opinion for the game moving forward is solo play is dead. If you want to solo play, stick to Stanton because that's about the safest place you
okay.
can be, and it's not even safe now.
I'm gonna throw this out there. If you want solo play, go to Terra. It's not out yet,
Exactly.
but go to Terra.
Because moving forward with the more systems that come out, and Pyro is going to be a good example of this, and I hope a lot of people finally wake up to reality and realize the world isn't what you want you to be. Thank you. I needed to do a moderate reference. That you are going to get slaughtered if you're a solo player. And it doesn't matter how big of a ship you bring. You can bring the biggest ship. You can bring a Polaris into the verse and
We're already
into
seeing
Pyro.
that.
All that's gonna do is stall your inevitability of your death. You're just gonna die. It's just gonna take longer.
If you want a
I mean,
solo
not-
experience, go play fucking Starfield or Squadron 42.
Please.
Okay.
go play Space Engineers or
Yeah,
like
go fucking
Kerbal Space
play
Program.
some little game, have fun on your couch, and let the big boys do what the big boys are gonna do.
Now, I will put out the call right here and now. If you are an industrialist that doesn't mind taking risks and understands that you have the threat of being attacked at any given time for any reason, look us up. Come to our Discord. Leave a comment in this chat. I'll drop you a link to the Discord. Or look us up
Tell
on
us where
RSI.
you're working. We'll come attack you and show you that reality.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But
I'm not.
I mean, look, seriously, look us up. Hellstern Interstellar Tactics. We are an org that is going to be living in Pyro. We have full intention of being industrial, along with having long fangs and sharp teeth. We already have skilled pilots. We can protect, we can train, we can do all kinds of stuff. Now, it is a verse that is not for everyone. Even in Stanton, it is a verse that is not for everyone. And I will reiterate that over and over again. If you are overly sensitive to getting attacked, this is not your game. If you get agitated anytime a shot comes your way, this is not your game. It doesn't matter where you could be in Terra, for heaven's sakes, and someone bumps into you or rams you or fires a shot at you deliberately, and you want to get tilted. This is not your game.
I believe we said it best yesterday. I'm not going to say who we said it to, but I'm going to say we said it. Is you can name call all you want. It doesn't make you a better pilot.
True.
Yeah. The only
It's
way
not
that
going to
you're
make me
gonna
a worse pilot.
yeah, the only way that you're gonna get through this game, if you're really interested, the only way that you're going to excel or get better is to accept that if you get shot, it's because you were not paying attention. It is your fault that you got shot.
And I want to chime in and say the additive to success in this game, and I think it's exactly what the One Piece is in One Piece. But the additive to what's going to keep you going and it's going to keep your interest in the game is the friends you found along the way. Now I know that sounds like some My Little Pony Hello Kitty bullshit, but it's so honest. Like without friends, without a group of people, you are never going to experience the full joy of this game because it's going to
That
be a
is
multi-crew
100%
game.
true. So I can end the stream with one or two songs. I either have No Room for Bob's in the Verse or I have Be Paranoid. I
Be
think
Paranoid.
I'll do Be Paranoid. That's a good one. All right.
That
So anyways,
sounds very fitting.
to close this up, and kind of reiterate, take the time to explore the EPTU. If you are any way, shape, or form Bobbish and want to just experience Pyro at least once, EPTU is where it's at. Go to EPTU. You're still gonna get shot at, by the way, because it's a lawless system. There are no repercussions for the person that shoots you whatsoever. So just keep your head on a swivel. Go out there, experience your time. Do what you need to do out there. Have fun. It's going to be a buggy mess. It's not going to be perfect or flawless, but that's why the EPTU is there. So we can stress test the system and give CIG the metrics that they need. And then that's that. So
Now
that's your time. That is your one and only time. When it goes live, when 4.0 is live, and you come into Pyro again, There is no excuse. You will not live. If you're not a part of a group that is living out there, if you get caught or spotted, you will be hunted and tracked, or the other way around, tracked, hunted, and killed. So,
Or watched intently with purposes that you don't want to know.
and with stealth slowly evolving, I could be within 1.5 clicks of you, and you'll never know. So,
Yeah, that's very true.
so to all you out there, good luck and have fun. And if you get shot by one of us or someone else, just know that you asked for it when you entered Pyro.
We're not sorry.
Yeah, and
Godspeed.
we're most
Yep.
definitely not sorry. But that's the verse. So I'll wrap this up. If you found this stream and you're new to Star Citizen, there is a referral right there. You can use that. It gives me a little something, gives you a little something, and we also have free fly coming up in 2 days, 1 day. We have
Tomorrow.
a free fly coming up in 1 day,
Tomorrow.
and it'll last for about a week. So it'll come in and experience Pyro or not Pyro, I'm sorry, experience Star Citizen for the first time. It'll be fun. Otherwise, by the way, this is not the normal time for our live stream. This is we were a day off because yesterday was a patch drop, and we all wanted to get in and experience the patch and still in interest, which we did, which was absolutely amazing experience if you get the opportunity. Normally our streams are Wednesday, 9 p.m. Today is Thursday, and we started it at about 9:15, so we were well off schedule. So Wednesday, 9 p.m. If you want to experience us live, see us then. Until next week, guys, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for spending time with us, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye now. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and all that other fun jazz.
Well, let me tell you about a fella in the verse. He was a miner by trade, but his luck was the worst. He used to think the stars were friendly, but oh, was he wrong. He learned some hard lessons that led to this song. Now every rock he cracks, every gem he does find, he feels a shadow lurking just a step behind. You see, out in the verse, no such thing as peace. From the moment you launch, you're just waiting for the beast. Oh, you better be paranoid with your eyes open wide. In the verse, there ain't a place safe to hide. From the time you take off till the time you touch down, keep your hand on that stick, don't ever put it down. Now he's loaded up his ship with the ore he refined, but his heart was a pounding with a fear on his mind. Cause the riches he held were like chum in the water, and every pirate out there would be tracking that slaughter. So he plotted his course, but not a straight line. Took the long way around with a twist and a twine. He jumped off to the left, then set his course right, and he prayed to the stars he'd make it through the night. Oh, you better be paranoid with your eyes open wide. In the verse, there ain't a place safe to hide. From the time you take off till the time you touch down, keep your hand on that stick, don't ever put it down. Now some folks might say, why live in such fear? But those who don't learn tend to just disappear. Cause in the verse, my friend, it's a dangerous game, and if you don't watch your ass, you're the one to blame. He made it to market, but the fear didn't fade. Cause the dealing of goods is where fortunes are made. He knew in his gut they'd be watching his hole, so he kept up his guard till it was all sold. Now if you're a miner, take heed. out in the black, it's do or die. Oh, you better be paranoid with your eyes open wide. In the first there ain't a place safe to hide. From the time you take off till the time you touch down, keep your hand on that stick, don't ever put it down. So next time you fly, remember this song. When you get in the verse, you won't get it wrong. Just stay on your toes and keep looking beyond.